Giancarlo, yeah, I mean, even at someone base in there and was just hammering the ball over.
Yeah, I mean, he's so good at locking in these big games. He's done it throughout his career with us. He's just really able to focus, pitch to pitch. And I thought that at bat off Bubic was just phenomenal. I think he went up there looking to do damage, looking to do just that. I thought laid off all the right pitches and just put a great swing on it, on what was obviously a great night for him, and including adding the stolen base for good measure.
Aaron, I'm really impressed with the discipline that the team's showing. The Royals very rarely give up walks like this, and your team has been drawing a lot of bases up balls. What do you attribute that to?
I mean, that's who we are. That's our DNA. That's what we try to do. From day one in spring training, it's what we talk about, and these guys go out and live that. So it's like, we haven't really broke through in a huge way yet, but we're giving ourselves a lot of opportunities against a really good pitching staff. They bring in great arms out of the pen. They run outstanding starting pitchers out there. So it's not easy. But I feel like, even in the second game where, we only scored 2, we've given ourselves a lot of chances in these first few games with plate discipline. And, hopefully we really break through in one of these. But I've been really pleased up and down with the quality of the at-bats. You're not always going to get a hit. You're not always going to get a result, but I feel like the quality of the at-bats been there.
Schmidt tonight, I mean, had him handcuffed until, ran into trouble there with 2 out in the 5th, but couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, he was great. Gives up the infield hit with 2 outs there on to Frazier, and then gets ahead of Isbell and isn't able to put him away, and then Massey hurt him. But yeah, I thought Clarke was excellent. I thought he was really in control of what he was doing. I thought his stuff was good. His execution for the most part was good. Just not quite able to finish off that inning. But yeah, he gave us what we needed.
What did you see on Glaber's foul ball?
I don't know. I haven't gone back now and looked at all the replays. We thought it was super close. I don't know. What'd you guys see? I don't know if there's more angles or whatever. It felt like looking up there, like that one angle, gun to my head, I'm saying it's touching the line, but you probably also realize that this may be standing too. So that's it.
Aaron, about Stanton, so much attention has been paid this year to Judge and to Soto, rightfully so, but from time to time, and this being one of those times, you're reminded what a weapon Stanton is.
He's a killer. It's remarkable, or I just admire how well he's able to focus in these big moments and just go to a different place mentally. Again, the at-bat on the home run was phenomenal. I think he went up there to do that and off a really tough reliever in Bubic, who's, a neutral guy that gets righties and lefties out. I thought he laid off all the right pitches and got the one he was looking for and didn't miss it. Obviously a huge night for him.
Do you think in some ways he's benefited by having the attention focused more on Judge and Soto?
I don't know. I mean, he's a MVP and Giancarlo Stanton, so a lot comes with that. But I don't think he's just so good at tuning out the noise and just getting himself to a place mentally where he's just so locked in pitch to pitch and what he's faced with doing and doesn't scare or doesn't get up or down from a result. It's like he knows how important the next pitch is.
What's the feeling having Garrett now going with the chance to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this was a big one to get, and excited to give Garrett the ball, and hopefully he can go out and get us off to a good start tomorrow night. So we always love handing the ball to our ace. But these games have been obviously really, really tough, and that team's playing really well over there. But we always feel good when we give the ball to Garrett.
With a lot of boos from KC fans tonight, how do you feel like he handled it?
He handled it well. Yeah, I mean, I mean that's good for the playoffs to have a little bit of that. I don't think he meant any disrespect by it at all. So it made for a little better environment.
Kansas City usually likes Jazz. So.
Yeah, that's right.
But, I mean, rusted bullpen, but each one of your three relievers went at least 4 outs. Is that just matchups? Is that just the way it played out? Or what?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just the way it played out. And, coming out of an off day, felt like we were lined up to do that okay. And hopefully still in a position to be okay with those guys tomorrow.
Just what did you think of the job your bullpen is? I think it's 13 2/3 without an earned run.
Yeah, they've been excellent. Obviously Clay again tonight. Coming in at Bobby Witt and going right through the middle of their order with the go-ahead run on third when he first came in, and then having a clean. What was it? Sixth inning. Tommy was really good. Tommy was really efficient, and to be able to go out there and get that lead out. Getting Massey out to start things off just to shorten the game enough for Weave, and then even though Weave gave up a couple hits, he was real pitch efficient too, and benefited from a great play on a good pitch to Pasquantino when he first hit that. I'm like, oh no, and here comes Volpe out of nowhere. So the bullpen was great.
Clarke, can you just talk about? It seemed like you had 13 of the first 16. And in 3 batters, it just kind of spiraled. What happened?
Yeah, I think, that's the playoffs, things kind of, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. I think the momentum swings are a major thing here, and especially on the road with the crowd gets involved. And, if you look at the inning, it's like 67 mile an hour single. I don't know how Isbell kept that ball and down the line, and then the Massey hit. So, it's just playoff baseball. That's really what it boils down to, I think. But really good game plan tonight, and I think there's a lot to be said about coming out hot and trying to put up zeros early. I think it gives your team a chance to win. So, really happy with coming away with the win.
Clarke, you mentioned putting up 0. Like you were doing well to execute early.
Yeah, I think the main thing in these atmospheres is just staying within yourself and trusting yourself. And I had a really good state of mind, and we had a really good game plan, and being able to adjust and trying to see what they were trying to do to me. And it was just a lot of fun. Like Wells and I, we were working well together, and we were getting to good areas and staying away from damage areas, and mixing speeds well and keeping guys off balance. So I think, we made some pitches when we need to. I think back to the Melendez AB with the curveball, and but just really good game plan and really good job between both of us, just adjusting and giving what they're trying to do to us.
You mentioned a couple times the good game plan. What was the game plan to go at this line?
I don't want to give away all my secrets, but I think just you're trying to avoid damage, and when you're playing in a park, obviously this is a bigger park, and trying to get them to put the ball in the air and trying to induce weak contact. I think we knew going into it that they didn't swing and miss a lot. They don't strike out a ton, so I wasn't really trying to go in and get a ton of chase, and I was trying to make them put the ball in play and let my defense work behind me, and it ended up working out.
When you came out, how much confidence did you have in the bullpen to keep it there?
Yeah.
How impressed did you become with how they've
just the complete confidence in them. I think that's been one of our strengths, if not our main strength, the whole year. And I think Garrett, we were talking yesterday before catch play, and he set the over-under at pitches for me at like 72, 73. I think I hit the under by like 2 pitches. So I think you're aware of how high stress every pitch is, and that you don't really have too long of a leash. So I think there is power in that, like going out and just trying to come out hot and put up as many zeros as you can in a short span of time, knowing that you're not trying to go to the 6th or 7th like you are in a typical regular season. So complete confidence. Getting to the fifth, passing the ball to the next guy, Clay, obviously, and then Tommy and Weaver. I mean, and we have even more guys down there that get the job done every time. So credit to them.
How would you describe what Giancarlo means to this team, especially in a postseason?
Yeah, I mean he's just such a veteran. I think everything he does is it seems like the right thing to do, and he's always saying the right thing and doing the right thing, and he's just a good guy to follow, and you learn a lot from him. And I think when it's the playoffs, it's just he takes it to another level, and I think there's something to be said about players that can do that. And I think he's done it throughout his whole career, and he wins us big ball games day after day. So we were all saying it in the dugout when he came up for that last AB, or the AB where he hit the homer. It was like, he's about to hit a homer here. It's like you just kind of feel it that he's going to do damage when he goes up there.
To that point, what do you think it would be like to have to face him?
Mm-hmm.
He's up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's tough because maybe right on right, like if I'm speaking for myself, like maybe you can think you can get a bunch of chase on him on some breaking balls, but he sees the ball so well in playoffs, and he's got a really good game plan, and he's very smart, so he thinks along with you, and he's obviously very talented.
Getting through so pivotal in a short series like this, where it's what was your emotion, nerves like before this? Have you ever pitched in a game that's critical, high school, college, state championship?
Yeah, no, nothing this big, obviously, but I think I just trust the preparation that I put in. I trust the game plan that we had. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes for me to go out there and try to have success. And I think I like to be fearless when I'm out there, and there's only so much I can control. When I let go of the pitch, after that it's out of my hands. So I think just trusting that and trusting myself, and I just try to be in like a state of just zen, almost like just being calm and not really letting too much get to me, regardless of how loud it may get. But I think I failed on, I pitched in playoffs before. I remember Cleveland, I blew a game. Houston, I ended up blowing a game. So I think you learn from those moments. And I think I've taken punches in the face out there, and I've been able to kind of respond and kind of roll with the punches. So you just learn a lot from your failure if you let it. So I'd say that's definitely helped me. When I'm out there, I just, can't really get too much worse than losing a couple more playoff games. So when I'm out there, I'm trying to execute and do my job.
Actually going to ask you about Luke, 5-out save for him tonight. What do you think has made him great in that closer role?
I think, you talk about 5 outs, like obviously he was a starter before. So when he's going multiple ups, it seems like it's easy for him. So him being able to get 5 outs in the end of a game is like, words can't describe how big of, and it seems pretty easy when he's going out there. He's throwing a lot of strikes, and he's very confident in his pitch package and getting to his areas, and just complete transformation from the guy I saw last year to who he is now. And he's just, it shows on and off the field. He's very confident, and just you feel very calm when he's out there in those situations. Like, we have a really good chance to win this ball game.
Big transition going from starting last year to now coming in closing an ALDS game. Were you expecting, or can you explain how you've dealt with that transition and the big change in roles?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of layers to it for sure. I think one was acceptance. I think in this game, things don't necessarily go in the way we expect it to, we hope it to. There's some obstacles that come in our way, and you got to be able to adjust and get back up and keep going. And I think it's something I've had to fight hard for, to try to find things to keep me healthy on the field, to reinvent myself in some ways. And by God's grace, I'm out there, and I'm in big moments that don't really make sense. I hope to, as a kid, that we all do. I sit there and I marvel at it. I soak in the crowd. I feel calm, and next thing I know, there's the 3rd out, and the game's over, and it's a blessing. It really is.
What did you think of Volpe's catch
I think Volpe is one of the more athletic guys I've seen. I think he walks around with some, it's like Reebok pump shoes, you know? Like I think he's just kind of presets it, gets ready to go. And that ball, I mean, that was a tough inning, right? Because they put some good swings on it, and that would have been trouble right there for sure. But the athleticism shows like our guys do and makes a big out, and I'm able to try to get back in there.
And then you guys as a bullpen got 13 outs, but only one by strikeout. What is that?
Yeah, I think it's not always going to be, I guess, dominant or when you're playing the same team a lot, you're getting a lot of the same hitters. I think hitters, I would assume, the more you see somebody, the easier it could be in some way. You're trying to change up your approaches as a pitcher. You're trying to pitch them differently. But there's some really, really good players that are all over the field. So you just sometimes cross your fingers.
Look, when Giancarlo hits that home run, when you're locked in mid-game, because you never, obviously, but when he hits the go-ahead.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I was already kind of warming up. I had kind of a situation coming up into that next inning already. When we hit that homer, just basically solidified it. And for me, I felt like I wish I could have cheered more, but I was like in that mindset of, not get too outside of myself. Don't waste energy. Just be focused because your job's about to be had. And internally, I was celebrating, but it was like a flip of a switch that had already been flipped. So I was ready to go.
Yeah, a couple questions. When Witt gets on first, knowing he's so fast, were you conscious of him maybe running, and did you expect him to go?
Yeah, I expected it to run. I mean, that's the fastest guy in the big leagues, I believe. Bobby's a great guy. We got to play with him over here for a little bit, and I know what he's trying to do. When he got the single, I was like, all right, it's time to work. It's time to work on two sides of the ball now, especially with Salvi up. It's hard because he is such a hard matchup with his ability to hit everything all over the plate. I mean, he's hitting bad pitches, good pitches, and so to kind of split the attention, for me, it was just a matter of staying calm. It was a matter of thinking, making sure that he was awkward over there, like uncomfortable, changing holds, finding ways to make him feel like he doesn't have it to go. And I think that honestly might be the biggest part for my outing in the game that kept me in my mindset, kept me kind of going and propelling, even though the hit came after. But obviously if he's on second, we're looking at something different. So I was definitely happy by the way he stayed at first base because he wanted to go. I know he did.
Is that something that you in general or think of yourself as particularly good at or particularly conscious of, is keeping guys on?
It's important. I mean, we do a lot of that stuff in spring training all the way through the season. I've had a starting experience for a lot of years, so there's a lot of people that have come on base. But at the end of the day, you just do the best you think on what they're trying to accomplish, and I think disrupting that is just the biggest key. It's not always comfortable as a pitcher to try to go quick after a hold or to try to hold really long, but you're trying to use that stuff to your advantage in order for them to just get the slightest, to kind of not get the great jump, right? Like try not to get the perfect jump, and that keeps them at first base.
We've asked you a lot about Clay's role and how you two have been involved together, but how do you think the bullpen has rallied around him or reacted to the way that his season has gone and now he's getting outs?
Yeah, I mean, Clay's first and foremost one of the better dudes I've been around. I mean, this guy cares a lot. He has an ability to let things go quicker than most. I mean, definitely better than I do. I think it doesn't mean he doesn't care, but he has an ability to keep him consistent as a human being, come back the next day, and he wants the ball. I don't think there's much of a rally in there. I think it's a situation that's out of our control. It's something that's managed in a certain way. I didn't come in asking to be switched around and stuff, but I'm here with my full self ready to give whatever's needed, and that goes from top to bottom down there. I think Clay would say the same thing. Like, he wants to win. I want to win. And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but there's a confidence that we all believe in each other. We all know the abilities there. And at the end of the day, this guy had a good year. I mean, he really did. I mean, I don't know. It's not even something we even honestly need to talk about. It's just something that happened, based off of a choice. And we rallied around it, like you said, and we're just trying to get outs, and he's doing that right now.
Now that you're the closer for a whole month or so, what do you make of that position? Because, you look around this playoffs, and we've already seen Devin Williams, Clase, and Hader, some of the big names, have a tough night, and it really cost their team. Do you watch those other guys now that you're a closer, and how do you deal with the tightrope that you got to walk?
I think the biggest thing, and I don't know if it helps me, I feel like it does, that's not the way I view myself. I don't think I'm a closer. I think I'm a guy who is doing that situation, but I feel like at any point can be put in a situation to try to get some out somewhere else. And I know it's kind of silly, I've had a few saves now here and then at the back end of the year, but I think I'm just a man on a mission. I'm determined, I'm focused, and I think that even keeled mindset keeps me calm out there, because it's a pretty big situation. I've watched a lot of this stuff on TV for a while. I had no postseason experience. So this is all first time for me, new stuff. It doesn't feel any different because I'm trying not to let it be different. I'm trying not to let the big moment at first and third at opposing ballpark in the ninth inning change me. I'm trying to be like, all right, what do I want to do next? How do I want to go about the next pitch, the next hitter? Does it make sense to do this and that? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to make sure that I'm as calm, and I don't want to give away anything to the opposing team as if they think they got me. I want to actually be out there and almost smile like this opportunity is something that I want to own and I want to enjoy more than anything.